Ta-da!
So this is the beginning of our press conference the day before our match against Manchester City. Welcome to all the journalists assembled here today and our two guests here on the top desk available for your questions from the floor. Please wait for the radio microphone. Philip Inser, Sky Sport News. Marco, for you. After the Volksburg game, were there any injuries? It looks like Timo Werner hasn't flown in with the team. Is that right? Yeah, several haven't come with us. There's been a couple of colds, the normal things for this time of year, but we've got a few things under control. Josko trained, he's come with us, giving us another option. And Kevko also trained with us this morning, so he's on the road to recovery. And I shouldn't think we'll have any other problems. The rest of the boys are fully there, fit and ready. Oliver Hartmann for Kicker magazine. Would you say there's a lot of pressure behind you this autumn? Is this a kind of bonus game in the sense that you can't really lose? I can't really confirm that because, in fact, for us, it's a very important game. Obviously, it's a Champions League match. On Saturday, we had an unsuccessful day. We established that we had something missing. We had, fortunately, the next day to work on those shortcomings. Hopefully, therefore, bringing to the pitch tomorrow reaction to last weekend's performance. A few little things, with things that you can work out with hard work, been discussions in the training room, but we have to be at our absolute top level tomorrow. We want to put on a great show for ourselves, show what we can do. It's a really important game for us. Philip Weiskirch from Middle Germany Radio. Hey, Marco. The young players here are known. How do the young players look at Man City with their great reputation? Cardi or Castello, it doesn't help them. I can only say that last year with the 7-0 thrashing, it put us down. It knocked us down, of course. That was the last 16. We hopefully can do better this season, this time around. We know it's a big option for us, a big opportunity that we can hit a vein of quality and take this team, a very self-aware and self-conscious team. I don't know what City are going to do, but I also believe that we know Pep. Nothing can be taken for granted. It really makes no difference who's going to be on the pitch, whether it's Josko comes on for Nathan Ake or Luis comes on for Silva. I don't really know on which position they might get changed from or to. John Stones, they're all world-class players at City, so from 1 through to 16 or 17 players there, they're all world-class, so it doesn't really make any difference what kind of team he puts out tomorrow. What's your opinion of Erling Haaland? Do you still have contact with Erling at all? Have you sent him any messages? I hope the relations are good as it always was. We've not had much contact. We've not had any falling out, of course. Obviously, he has to do his job tomorrow. His job is to do the best he can for his team. I will be observing him, of course, and I have to try and suppress him if we can. Uh, let's hopefully not run into any surprises, but I don't want to confirm anything. But the goal he scored against Liverpool at the weekend, he scored a great one again. That's what Erling is. That's what he does. And yeah, we'll enjoy watching him play tomorrow. But hopefully we'll be able to stifle him. Another question then for Christoph. Is this your biggest match so far, would you say, playing Man City here? When you go out there onto the pitch, is this the royal route for you? Said, yeah, really, I've not had too many Champions League opportunities so far. So playing here against Man City is really one of the greatest teams. So it's one of the best of teams in the world. So yeah, I think we've got a really good setup. I think it's quite important that we find a middle way for us. Winning is in our blood, so we come up against all kind of opponents, and we know anything's possible against City. We're going to have to do a lot of defending, that's for sure. We have to maybe play the long balls and get the ball up the field, try and create some pressing or counter attacks. If we're on a perfect day, we put in a great performance, anything's possible. Dann Manchester Journalist, next question. Hallo Marco. Eine Frage auf Deutsch, wenn ich das mag. Die Niederlagung 7:0 letztes Jahr, wie schlecht war das für die Mentalität letztes Jahr und was für Wirkung wird das haben auf Ihre Mindset für morgen? Wir haben diese Niederlagung nicht besprochen. Es war nach dem Spiel schwierig für uns. Wir wurden trotzdem Pokalsieger in Deutschland. Wir sind dann wieder für die Champions League qualifiziert. Das hat uns also nichts zerstört als Mannschaft. Und morgen, wir können nur verbessern. Natürlich, wir wollen mit diesen besten Mannschaften der Welt konkurrieren. Wir wollen zeigen, dass wir uns verbessern können, dass wir besser sind. Es wird schwieriger. Wir müssen leisten. Ich sehe hier eine Mannschaft. Ich habe nie so eine Mannschaft gesehen wie die von hier, die so lange den Ball behalten. Auch Liverpool hatte nur 40% Ballpossession. Also wir wissen, was wir morgen erwarten, aber wir sind hier wieder zu versuchen und nochmal versuchen. Das ist nicht das erste Mal, dass wir Manchester City entgegenkommen. Philippines, Sky Sports News.
Das wäre grundsätzlich eine sehr, sehr homogene Truppe sind, wo es ja, einfach Spaß macht, mit den Jungs Zeit zu
I think it's a great experience for our young players to be in the dressing room here. We have to push our limits, of course. We all know this. We had a few little errors, centimeters wide of the mark. We look at Erling Haaland, how he feels, his brutal energy levels. He can be very destructive. We have to, stick to our game plan and stay cool-headed, and hopefully show the qualities that we have, and go out there and show a lot of heart, and go out there with passion. And we're going to try to do exactly that tomorrow. Marco, to win the group or put on a good performance? Which is it? Well, it's both. We're here to play well, of course, to show ourselves, to give witness to what we can. I think here the most important thing is to bring to to the pitch, a real presence, and impose ourselves as best we can. I'm not going to say we're going to go home with a haul of goals. We just want to put in a good performance tomorrow. Christoph, a question for you. Is it coming up against such world-class stars? Is there any risk of people asking for shirt swaps during the game? Of course, it's a big honour to be able to play against some of these greatest players in the world. We recognise all their quality, and we want to be our best. I think for us also, it's not completely extraordinary either that we come up against world-class players. We come out of the Bundesliga, and some of us are in the German national team. So, I can't say. If you come up against Erling Haaland or others, we can only see what happens. You think, even though you weren't there for the 7-0 defeat last year, have you noticed any kind of worry in the dressing room amongst the players? Not really. It's not really been an issue for us. Obviously, I wasn't there, so we had the Wolfsburg game, and then we're relatively quickly here. We've had a little bit of time to look at our opponent for Tuesday and what happened months ago. Things can change a lot during the interim, so we'll just go out there tomorrow and try to do the very best we can. A question for the coach. Do you think you had long enough time to prepare for this match? Do you think there's been to process this big defeat? It was a hard task. We had a press conference after that. We came here with, I think it was 1-1 after the home game. We flew here with the goal of progressing further in the group, and it all went. Of course, that match had its own dynamic. We defended very, very passionately. Our midfield transitional play wasn't the best it could have been, and we needed a lot of mutual player support through the midfield to stop City, and I think we need to bring that into our game tomorrow, that we need a lot of collaboration to try and slow down the match tempo, impose ourselves. And then after, I think on the 7-0 defeat, after 23 minutes, we had a shot over the bar, then we had one over the crossbar, and then it could easily have been 2-0 in a very short space of time. So, we did manage to get a couple of movements, a couple of chances together. But I just said here now, just to the back of the room, we went home, we shook ourselves down, and we looked at the other goals on our horizons at the time, and we were knocked out by Manchester City. That brought us to a certain point. We had a few difficult nights, admittedly, but that's in the past now. Sky Sport News, Philip Venser. Question for Josko. Josko, who was an important player for us. I was only there for a short time at the training ground before his move came about, and it came very quickly. I thought, with all the quality, at the moment he's battling with Ake for his place, and one match it's Ake, next day it's Josko Gvardiol. They play here though in a style with the very deep defender, or they're sometimes acting like midfielders, but they do it very well. He does a lot of running. Joshko's a very fine young man, a top footballer, and yeah, I think he fits in very well here, and I'm sure it's going to be a platform for his development and improvement as a player, but hopefully not too much so tomorrow. Is it is it theoretically possible that Peter Gulasci will be between the goalposts tomorrow, or is it likely to be Timo Werner? Well, we'd like as often as possible to have Peter to give him a tempo and give him a run of games. He had a very serious long-term injury, as we know. He had problems with that, which we've talked about at some length. He's not had too many opportunities for training. The last week and a half or so, he's had very few opportunities to join in with training. So I think we're probably going to stick with Janus tomorrow. He's also had problems with fitness, but this is such a big Champions League match. I think we'll probably stick with Janus. We need to give Peter a bit more time for his recovery, being such an important player for us. I think that's the end of the question. Nice one to finish. Thank you. If no more questions, okay. Thank you very much, and thank you for our 2 press conference participants, and see you at the match tomorrow. Good ciao ciao.